ランゼリアに救済をもたらす新たな英雄である。私にかなうと思っているのか。愚か者め、ディバインエッジ、行けラバーナ。終わりだ、ゼフォニックブレイザー。
What's going on, everybody? Adachi here, and today we're going to be taking a look at pretty much all of the JP 1-year anniversary type stuff. Unfortunately, Global, we didn't get a whole lot of announcements. The only thing I will say is that Dr. Stone is confirmed for both JP and Global. So that collab leak is 100% confirmed now, and we'll take a look at that in a minute. And as we can see, that Roland is going to be the new unit, the new Descent of Heroes banner that's going to be released over in JP. And personally, I'm super excited. I like Roland's design a whole lot, and the whole dragon aesthetic thing that they've got going on just hypes me up even more. And we're going to start by looking at all of the stuff that we can visually look at through the JP video, the 1-year anniversary video that they did. And then everything else that doesn't have visuals tied to it, then we will go over the Discord post that they posted over on Reddit. First thing we'll look at is that skills down here. As you can see, this special looking skill right here, there are now going to be unique skills tied to arcs. I.e., you can't actually teach these to any characters specifically tied to the arc, so if it's not equipped, you don't have it, and if you have it equipped, you can use those special abilities. We'll go ahead and show this one off right here. This one is for the new dragon arc that's going to be coming with Roland. So there's that. Personally, I think that the whole the dragon's design looks really fucking sick. The animation itself is kind of whatever, but if we can expect to see other things like that from other arcs, I'm super down and super excited for it. It's going to bring a lot more variety and a lot of usability out of some other arcs that maybe don't get so much use anymore. So definitely looking forward to that. Next, we have the arc upgrade system that's going to be added. So as you can see down here, there's a little +2 right here. And on the second picture, we can see that the stats can now be upgraded individually. Who knows what these are going to actually take and what the requirements are for it, but it's neat to see that we're going to get some even further means of upgrading our arcs even further, because this just once again adds into that whole usability factor for older arcs, especially for something like Sorcerer Eden, as we know is like a really great mage arc, but maybe its stats don't quite fit up to snuff to maybe some other arcs that come down the line. So this just helps bridge that gap even more, which I'm, it's not something I ever thought that we really needed, but, I'm all for it. And then the new alchemy system, or the enhanced alchemy system for the weapons and armor over here. So in JP right now, they already have a kind of alchemy system where you can kind of trade up and down the upgrade materials, and you can also trade them between colors, so like red and blue and whatnot. And now they're going to be adding in a means of upgrading all of your gear, from your weapons to your armor. It looks like they're going to take some, some like basic materials that maybe we don't really use anymore. And I wouldn't really pay attention to this little feather thing at all. This little feather dummy picture has been in the game since launch. I think this is literally just a dummy picture. So these files are usually just meant to kind of placehold for something else that will potentially be there in the future. I don't know what any of this means yet, but this is cool. We're going to get a lot more use out of a lot of gear and be able to make them a lot better. And here we have 3 new weapons that are going to be added into the Red Diamond shop, the ones that you get off of dupes. And all 3 of these pieces of gear are very interesting to see what the future has in store, because each one of these pieces of gear is actually going to uncap the current damage cap. So the current damage cap being, 9,999. The sword is going to boost the physical damage cap by 1,500. Same thing for this wand, that's going to do that same thing for magical damage. And then this accessory, I'm not sure if it just boosts ultimate damage by 2,000, or if it also boosts the ultimate skills damage cap by 2,000. So hopefully it's also boosting the damage cap, but it's really nice to see that. And I'm very interested, seeing these kinds of damage cap limit breaks into skills and maybe some other arcs into the future. Then here we can see them announcing the Dr. Stone collab over in the JP video. You can see the 2 characters, I believe. As far as we know at least, these are the only 2 characters that we're going to be getting. Of course, we'll probably be getting some arcs as well, so that's the nice looking key art there. A little better than that little scan that they had, the leak that the JP Twitter had. And then over here we can take a better look at the character designs. And I gotta say, I don't really know much about Dr. Stone. I just started watching it myself, of course, because the collab is now coming. But I think the character designs are, they're pretty interesting, they're pretty neat, and I think they fit in just fine with LC. And I love the whole set piece art they have going on with Senku's hut over here, and then Kohaku and the village people back here. I really like it, and it just solidifies that I'm a huge fan of Last Claudia's art. And the last thing we're going to look at, visually at least, is going to be DMM.com. This is like a Japanese kind of launcher for a lot of Japanese games, a lot of mobile games and other games. And this is them just showing off that there is now going to be a Last Cloudia PC client, at least on the JP side. I don't know what kind of equivalent they would do for the global side if they plan on giving us our own PC client, because DMM is not a thing over here. This is pretty popular over in Japan. It's what I use for playing Grand Blue on my PC whenever I do, so I'm excited to see a much more optimized version on computers at least. And courtesy of the Discord, there is a post here kind of also translating all of the stuff, and this is where we're going to look at the rest of the stuff that they announced in the JP 1-year anniversary. First up is Unit Increased Enhancement Campaign, Soul Cost 1/4 Orb Cost. That is pretty insane. We usually get the half orb cost, this is now 1/4. That's just, you know, really cool. Really cool to see. They're also going to have all the ability gates, transcendent gates, and whatnot open every day. They say limit breakthrough gate drop. Drop rate doubled in all those quests. And Training's Ground is also going to be open with EXP and AP obtained greatly increased, so that's neat, as well as the Unit Soul Collection Ground, so the quests that you farm out the Unit Souls from are going to be open every day. They're also getting 1 multi for 8 days straight, so 8 free multis. Really cool to see, you know, because we haven't seen as this generous of like an amount of pulls before. I would say definitely don't expect this on the global side for the 6-month anniversary, because even JP didn't get something that generous. They got the same thing we've gotten before, which was the free summon every day. So I'd expect maybe if they potentially do anything like this, they would probably just give us the free singles every day. They're also doing a login bonus that's going to include a rainbow potion that levels any unit to level 100, which is going to ignore limit breakthrough materials. So if you have a unit at level 1, no awakens on it or anything, any limit breaks, you just use this potion and you completely skip all of the materials you need. So if you need any dragon eyes, fuck that, not anymore. You just pop this potion in and your unit's immediately at level 100. So probably really good for the new collab units or, you know, whatever other units you might want to be building up. I wouldn't expect to see this potion in a lot of other things going into the future, though. I think this is going to be a pretty rare potion. The only thing I think that you might be able to get more of these from going forward might be like kind of a whale thing, maybe even in the Red Diamond shop. They're also going to be increasing the level cap and the unit awakens stage to 6. They're going to do this in batches, and their first batch is going to be the newly released Roland, Gorm, Black Melza, Shin, Lukiel, and the standard Lila, with more to be added into the future. And it says when doing gacha pulls, units obtained will be given an item Prism Soul, which can be used for unit awaken purposes. So it does sound like you're going to need dupes to end up getting this final new awakening for these units. I would say, personally, I wouldn't let this bother you too much. I mean, it sounds bad, but I mean, a lot of these units are going to be non-limited. You're going to get, you know, more and more of these dupes down the road. And I'm sure much further down the road, we're going to get, you know, Prism Souls as some kind of a free-to-play means, but probably not, you know, right off the bat. Definitely not right away, I wouldn't think. Then we went over the Ark Skills, but they say that the other Arks that are going to have some skills coming out is going to be the UR, I'm going to assume that's like an SSR for Japan, Elder Dragon Ravana, Rare Dust Tower, Rare Dimension Rift, SR Beast Hunter, and SSR Heavenly Saint Parade, as well as showing off a couple of those skills that they probably showed off in the video themselves. They also plan on revamping the UI of the shop and whatever items renewed mean, so hopefully they clean it up. I don't, you know, personally, whenever I go into the shop and I see all those bundles I want, I'm like, alright, just trying to get to my event shops here. Alright, and this does say Dr. Stone Collab 2 new units, so I don't know if that is like 100% confirmed that these are the only two new units that we'll be getting out of the collab. Some people are telling me that they might like to see, I don't remember his name, but some third character, so maybe, but it doesn't seem very likely that we get any other units besides these two. And then I don't remember if I talked about this on stream or on a past video, but tier 2 spells time stop removal poll. So they polled Japan as far as whether or not they should be removing time stop through certain spells, and there was like a little test quest that they did. I think I showed it off at the end of one video. And the results of the poll came back 65% positive with 35% negative. The affected spells are going to be Galaxy, Dark Matter, and Blizzard. And they're also contemplating putting in the time stop removal for tier 3 spells too. Personally, I don't really care if they end up removing time stop or not from tier 3. If they don't, though, I'm hoping that people take off their tier 3 spells for farming purposes, because I would much rather be able to do quicker farming with like the Galaxy, Dark Matter, and Blizzard. But if they do remove the time stop, it will make it like, in my opinion, it'll make Magic a whole lot weaker, but at the same time, it'll be neat to see all those spells kind of stacking. And it would be a hell of a lot better for farming now that there's no time stop for tier 3s, so you could pretty much wipe waves instantly and not have to worry about waiting through the entire animation every time. They're also going to be adding in more story for JP, arena loss ranking drop reduced with matchmaking adjusted. So they're just fixing up the arena, making it a little more interesting, I guess, or a little more fair. I'm not really sure. Arena doesn't really interest me at all. They're confirming once again that they're doing some subscriber mechanic that is in progress. I'm hoping that it's like pull related, so we get pulls or gems or something, because honestly, who needs to buy materials? This game is all about grinding. Why the hell would I want to buy my materials? Just give me more gems. Just give me more gems here, Idis. Confirming again that raid battles are still in progress, which, you know, for me is a good sign at least. You know, they're still acknowledging that it's a thing, but it seems like they're taking their time on it to make it as good as it possibly could be, so I'm hoping that it all turns out real good. And that wraps up all of the JP stuff here. Oh, also, they did confirm that Celios is going to be the next banner on the global side, so look forward to that. Although, honestly, it was pretty easily predicted that Celios was probably going to be the next banner. I mean, he's even in the new event. Yeah, what do you guys think of the 1-year anniversary, and do you have any expectations for our own 6-month anniversary? Let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, thank you all for watching as always. I'll see you in the next one.